So Deception decks don't have much play in the weekend ranked in Mythic, and that's because they typically don't perform as well as the other meta things such as the War and the Nature decks, which are really popular right now. For example, last week, the top Deception deck in Mythic actually only got 19 out of 25 wins. So this week, I decided to take Deception deck into Mythic and see how it performs. So I've been practicing on this deck all week with NoobSauce. Actually, in the Discord, we have a thing called the midweek brawl, where we get together in the middle of the week and we 1v1 other good players, and we practice and tweak our decks and give each other tips and tricks on how to get better. So with all that practice this week, we took our Deception decks into the weekend ranked. NoobSauce's deck got 19 out of 25 wins, and so did mine. We both got the exact same amount of wins and losses. And if you see our MMR chart, it looks very similar. All right, so for my deck, it comes in at 0.83 ETH, so about $2,800 currently. And the big costs of here, of course, are the Demogorgons. These are like pretty much most of the cost of the deck. The reason that I have them in there is that I find that you can make a Deception deck go late game because you're stealing cards the whole time. So as you can see, the deck pretty much revolves around getting a huge card advantage. We have the Patient Pickpocket ×2, which steals a card from the enemy hand. And we have the Lifewood Informant to get spells. I really like using this against War decks so I can pick up a Soul Survivor a lot of times. The Hollow is what we're looking for turn 1, so we can Mana Crystal it out. There's almost no way to deal with it turn 1. Basically, the only thing they can do is if they happen to have 2 Axe Womans in hand, and that's like the only way to kill the Hollow turn 1. And the Hollow allows us to have basically endless card draw. If you can get this out against another Deception deck, you're pretty much guaranteed to win on turn 1. We have the Ludus Dedicant, which is another card draw. Basically gives us a card from the opponent's deck when we use our hero power. And we also have the Lord of Whispers, another card draw where we're just getting a copy of the card from the opponent's deck whenever we hit the opponent's face. So basically, we have full cards in our hand from the start of the game to the end. And at the end of the game, we are like just counting our cards to make sure that we're not overdrawing. We have so many options. So that's why if we can just make it to the late game with help of the Demogorgon, then that is going to give us the advantage that we need in terms of card advantage to finish off the game. No matter what happens, we have answers for everything. So I guess you could call this deck more of a card draw Deception. Okay, now on to NoobSauce's deck. I had the wrong one pulled up. That was beside mine, so I pulled up the right one now. But basically, this one comes in at 0.059 ETH, or this is about $194 right now. And as you can see, so it's a lot more budget than what mine is. And it plays a lot differently. So this is more of an order deck. You're playing based on getting and using order to your favor. So you have things like the Lantern-Bound Fae, which comes back into your hand every time a creature loses order. And you can deal basically endlessly 3 damage with the Lantern-Bound Fae. And it's super annoying when this pops off. You can even deal the damage to face, so it can actually be a game ender. But at the very least, if you get this thing popping off properly, then you're going to be just clearing their creatures as soon as they drop them on. So basically, you use that in combination with things like the Patient Pickpocket, so you can time your order when it's going to come off. This steals cards from hand. You're going to use that in combination with the Hollow, so you're going to have card draw on top of Lantern-Bound Fae back. You can also use the Hollow in combination with your Patient Pickpocket to steal more cards. You can also use it with your Shackled Acolyte, which I don't run in my deck, but which is in here and really works. And this creature gains +2/2 every time it loses order. So technically, you can, if you have a clear board, you can pop the order from the Hollow onto a Shackled Acolyte, and you can actually just continually buff it while at the same time drawing cards. So that's a really nice thing when you're working with order, is that there's huge synergy there. It also only has the one Rapture Dance. I think that I would like to have 2 because sometimes it's just not in your hand when you need it. And then for neutrals, there's a Skeleton Heavy ×2, which is just a good core card that works in so many decks because the stats of a 2/4 is just absolutely incredible. And of course, 2 Guild Enforcers just to save some of that damage to face. Another standout card here is the Hierophant Silliness. And this is basically his big card draw at turn 5. And this gives your creatures a card draw every time they hit face. This is a card you don't really see much play of, but it's a card that has huge potential. There's only not many of them actually available to purchase because it's a trial card. And I think that we could see the price of this actually going up in the future. Especially if we see deception decks come into meta, you're going to see cards like this go skyrocketing in value because they add just so much utility to a deception deck if it becomes more meta. The hollow, if this card passes the nerf and buff phase without getting any nerfs, then this card is going to be worth so much. It's insane. It's such a good card. And finally, I also think that the Lantern Bound Fae has huge upwards potential. I don't think it's going to be touched by the devs, and it's also extremely, I think it's underplayed for what kind of value you get. You really see it pop off in a deck like this where it's built around order, and that's why I think it doesn't see much play, because it really needs a deck to be built for it. But when it is, and when it pops off, you get just so much value for the rest of the game that I think that this card is also something that I would be holding long term. Okay, so with these decks now out of the way, let's jump into some games and see how they perform. All right, here we go. Game one. So this is the deck that I took into the weekend ranked. This is probably the best hero power in the game, I would say. Deal 1 damage plus hide a creature, and you will see that it just comes in so handy when like you need to finish off damage to face, and you can just get past their front lines. Okay, so basically we have the option this game, because we got 2 armor lurkers and we have Orfeo, so we honestly have the option to just like rush this game. Normally I like to go over nature and just like deal with all of their stuff, but we're in the situation right now where we have 2 shadow lurkers and happen to also have got the Orfeo, so we can deal with any creatures they drop on board. And then we can also drop the next armor lurker next turn, and now we essentially can just do massive amounts of damage to face. Oh wow, what a pickup! The Dark Knives. So basically, you're gonna see now just how fast this deck can actually be, as long as everything goes well. I guess it's possible that they could drop like a Canopy Barrage now. Okay, well, that works. That'll help save them. So one thing that we can potentially do, it's playing it a bit risky, but what we could do is potentially Dark Knives the Armor Lurker, and now we need to decide whether we're going to go under or over. And in this case, actually, I'm just going to go over. So basically, under over is, are you going to go slower than their deck or faster than their deck? And this, you really need to think about that when you're playing Deception, because especially with this deck that I'm playing now, you really have the option to do both. And wow, that was a lucky as hell Canopy Barrage. I've been having really bad luck with these Canopy Barrages today. But Switch Duelist is a great pickup for the Jaguar. And actually, I'm gonna hide the Pickpocket, because he's gonna come alive next turn. So we'll just eat that 3 damage to face, but try to keep this guy alive. The reason is we can get we can turn him deadly, so it's nice to have a 1 drop or a 1 strength on board in case we get a deadly pickup. Wow. We have options here. Let's take out his Rhino. So we're gonna drop our Ludius. So we drop our Ludius, because we're going to get a card back, and it could potentially also take out a Jaguar. We don't need both because we already have another one in bank. So what I'm going to do here is just smack, and we're going to get another card back. So now we have a card advantage. We got a nice Lightning Strike, perfect. So we have a card advantage. That's super important with nature, because we're looking to basically slow the game down, deal with all the creatures they put on board, and then end up with a card advantage at the end of the day, so that in the late game, we come out on top. All right, so here we have an option. We can either Lightning Strike, or we can Overgrown Rhino their Overgrown Rhino. I'm thinking Lightning Strike, just play it safe. Just play it safe. And we don't need anything from the Sanctum. The reason that I was playing it safe is in case he dropped like something like a Blade Fly. We want to make sure that our Lightning Strike goes off on the right target. And now we can drop our Overgrown Rhino. And perfect. Actually, you know what? Even better. We're going to start getting some card advantage here. Okay, so let's get some card advantage. We don't want him to have Valka's Discovery. I don't think. So we're going to grab that because that removes our hidden. But what we do want to do is drop the Switchblade Duelist, and then let's go for card draw here. Okay. I really like the getting the card shark versus nature because it really messes up their RNG spells, which I absolutely despise. Wow, he really used the hunt on us now. Okay, that's going to set him back. So we know he's down at least one hunt. I don't know if he's carrying two. The hollow, I mean, we get the hollow out now. It's pretty much, he has nothing to counter this. Grab the rhino as well. I'm pretty sure that that's probably going to seal the win for us. Because now we're just going to have endless cards. We got the ward on the hollow, so unless he pops the ward first and then gets lucky with another thing. Yes, and then the Falling Star goes on the rhino. Perfect. It's not even bad at all. So first things first, we're going to give ourselves that. The Falling Star is just such a good card. It's a really, really good card. I mean, we gotta rhino that, no question about it. Now, Guild Enforcer would actually be pretty massive here. He doesn't really have a great answer for it because his spells are so RNG based. We have a Wild Hog down too, and the hollow. So even if he has like a Lightning Strike, he's only got a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the Guild Enforcer. And these Badgers aren't going to do anything against it. So you could have a Wildfire. That would be nice. But still is not going to cut it. But yeah. He might have another of the hunt, actually. Okay, but now he's got none. Wow. Talk about insane. Okay, well, that was a good pull from us. Can't really complain there. Can't really complain there. I mean, he got a lucky the hunt. He honestly has been lucky with his RNG this entire time. And we're going to card shark so we can't lightning strike our Guild Enforcer. Really just want to keep that Guild Enforcer alive. And then hopefully, and then we really want to get Lord of Whispers off as well. Now we can start getting that card advantage back. Honestly, this Valka's Discovery is pretty useless for us. It was honestly just about stealing it away from him, but I don't even know if that was the right move. Okay, so he's got no more of the hunt, so we can just fill the board here. It doesn't really matter. We're pretty much good to go. Honestly, I'm just going to even grab another. I'm going to grab the Phalid Tracker because, well, he's not going to be able to do anything about it. I guess you could try for a silliness mark, get super lucky. 1 out of 5 chance. Alright, so our number 1 goal now is to shut down his card draw. It's all about getting a card advantage at this point. Here's a Demogorgon, which we don't need. But I'm going to play it anyways. So first of all, just take out this. Let's go get a card draw. Oops. And just for fun, we might as well just drop it because we have it and it'll take care of that Jaguar there. And wow, we got a giant Pantheon. Great pickup. Honestly, it must be so annoying playing against Deception. Yeah, I guess he's annoyed too. I would be. This deck is absolutely insane. All right, let's go against a war deck. We actually do quite well against war decks here. Pickpocket, don't really need it. Don't need Dark Knives even more. Now we have 2 pickpockets. Okay, it is what it is. We'll just get the pickpocket off turn 1. And then I'm gonna save the mana crystal here. Basically, try to get it off with the Ludius Dedicant. All right, so we got our Satyr Hypnotist, which actually is quite nice against war. It really slows them down, and the slower we can make them go, that's actually really good for us, because we basically can usually we can last longer than them. If the game goes long, we win. Okay, so we're gonna of course do this. We picked up a nice Warmonger. One of those annoying things to get about playing against the Deception deck is you never know what they have in their hand. You can even look them up on GU decks. It doesn't matter, because we're basically just stealing cards from everybody. So it kind of is a good counter against the GU decks cheating. Alrighty. So that Orfeo is actually quite nice to get right now. What I'm thinking is we have a couple options here. Let's get the Dedicant out. Ooh, we would love to get the Rune of Strength. So we're just going to start smacking. Get some favor built up. Let's just think if he has anything that can counter that. Actually, I was going to Orfeo's Distraction, but the Rune of Strength on this guy just is... The stats are just too perfect. Stats are just too perfect. Because he's not going to be able to get anything past it unless he's got some kind of relic, or, well, this guy works. But still, really good value because it does take out his Orcish Elite. Which is really good for us. That's not good for us. So we're going to want to go for the Skeleton Heavy here. We don't want him to overkill our Orfeo. And we could Satyr Hypnotist here, but there's no point. I'm going to save it. He could... I don't want him to blitz it out or relic it out or anything. Yeah, there's no point in wasting it. Another Hunter's Trap. Okay, yeah, what? Wasted turn. But hey, the longer the game goes on, the better it is for us. So could still end up happy here. All right, so actually we have a pretty good... Unless he's got another Warmonger in hand. This was a good pickup. What I'm thinking is we do this guy, put the Hypnotist out so that we can stop any early advance or any face damage here. Then we'll be able to deal with it next turn. Even if he's got the... wow, my mind just blanked about the guy that buffs the relic. Then we'll still be fine here. Wow, you really went for the Soul Survivor. Just for those two. I guess he wants to do that 8 damage to face. But of course we're just going to Hunter's Trap that. Of course, that's just an easy hunting trap. And I'm going to get the Uncanny Rogue out. And honestly, I'm just going to start going for some favor here. Got it kind of running low on cards, so wouldn't mind just getting a bit of favor. Looking for that Battle Arocus. So he's getting low. He could be running a Demogorgon. So we got to play it a little bit safe, but not too much. All right, let's go for a Soul Survivor. Come on. Another round. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that. Let's go for some more favor here. So what we can do is next turn, another round, the Lightfoot Informant. We're getting a bit low here, so I wouldn't mind drawing a Demogorgon. Okay. This is actually quite nice. Let's just think about this for a second. He could Carnage Sweep us, so we want to be careful about that. I also don't mind just making this play here, so we can buff the Lydia's Dedicant. And what we're going to have to actually do is... Eek, I don't like that. We'll kill it with this guy, and then we will get the buff. And then that still saves us the Battle Arcos. So even if he uses his Carnage here, there's no way he's running... Well, he could be running 2 Carnagers, but... we should still be good. Wow, he is running Carnage. Well, then it's a good thing we saved the Dedicant. All right, let's go for Soul Survivor. I'll take that. I will take that all day. And we're still going to get another card pickup here, so... we could give them some extra favor, deal 3 damage. That puts them down to 13. It's not bad, but we'll just go for the favor. Just go for the favor, and then we'll get ourselves a... Now that I'm thinking about it, if we would have done 3 damage, would have brought him down to 13. Then I have 4, 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Would have got him down to 2 health next turn. But now he can still be down to 5 health. We have the Archangel Bruiser. We didn't know we were going to pick that up, though. So, and that's a pretty nice pickup. It's looking pretty nice. 13 damage is going to be pretty much impossible for him to do that. Both of our guys are hidden, so his Archangel Bruiser is not going to do anything. He's just going for it. He knows it's over if he doesn't end this game soon. But I'm hoping he puts a body on board. Okay, this is his mistake. This is going to be fatal for him now because we have the Archangel Bruiser. I think we have the damage then, because we have 4, 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 4 is 15. Oh, he's got 1 health left. Damn. Can he finish it off next turn? I don't know. Well, we're going to do this for sure. Then we're going to do the Dark Knives on... Doesn't really matter. Oh, and I just realized, actually, we don't even have the mana to do the Archangel Bruiser. But... it is what it is. But we do have the favor to grab this guy, so we can stop that 3 damage to face, which is exactly what we need. So he could have another Carnage, but he's so low, and we have Archangel Bruiser, so should be a non-issue. Yeah, I don't think there's, unless he has a Carnage or a Soul Survivor combo. Of course, he has the Soul Survivor combo. So we can technically do 2 damage to the creature, throw out the Archangel Bruiser. This is just insane. I mean, we can hidden. He can do 4 damage to us next turn. What can we do? I mean, we got to do this. We have to do that. Switch duelist. I guess. If he has a God Blitz weapon, it's GG for us, but it was so close. It just comes down to this. There's no way he can take our guys off the board. So what could he have? And he can't use his Archangel Bruiser on us because we're all hidden. So unless he has that God Blitz character with that gives you the 5 damage relic, God Blitz, and he can't do anything. So I'm hoping that he puts a creature on board, because if he puts a creature on board, we can Archangel Bruiser for the win. Otherwise, we actually are going to not be able to have lethal this turn. But we're really close to getting the relic, the Rune of Life. So that'll be nice. I'm wondering why he's not putting creatures on board, unless he has no creatures. Guess not. Okay. So first thing, we want all of our characters to be hidden, so he can't Archangel Bruise us, but that's not really going to be an option. So what we're going to have to do is, if we have the Guild Enforcer down, then we can Rune of Life, and then the Archangel Bruiser won't get through the Guild Enforcer. He could have another Carnage, but what are the odds of that? But we do have 6 health. You never know. It's so close. A Carnage for him would be absolutely perfect. But then again, if he has 1 more Carnage, we can Archangel Bruiser. Does he have anything to deal with that? I don't think so. He's used his Soul Survivors. I doubt he's running more than... Yeah, so basically that's why we put the Guild Enforcer down. We didn't want to get any damage off to face there. And that is GG, folks. Just shows you the power of deception. War can't even handle it. Just a quick finish to face here. Wow. Yeah. We go over, we go under. We don't even need our demo Gorgons at all. Who needs them? All right, so with that, let's hop on over to NoobSauces deck. But first, we have some packs, so I might as well open them while we're here. Just leveled up. See if we got anything great. Well, better luck next time. All right, let's hop on to NoobSauces deck and see how that performs. Just a heads up that I am been practicing more on my deck, obviously, because I played it through the weekend ranked, and I played it all week leading up to weekend ranked, so I'm a lot better with it. But I am just going to give you a quick run through of NoobSauces deck. Okay, so here we go with NoobSauces deck. We're taking the Orpheos, and let's start looking. We're up against nature. So that means we're going to be wanting to have a decent early game, because nature can really get away from us really quickly. So we don't need the Dark Knives. We actually kind of I would like to get some bodies on board. The Shackled Acolyte is a bit slow, but it also does really poorly because of the Canopy Barrage. And now he's got 2 bodies on board. So this is a pretty bad start for us. If he has 2 1-drops right out the gate, I mean, we can ping out the Shackled Acolyte and just basically pray to win here that he doesn't have the Canopy Barrage, because that would pretty much shut us right down here. Okay, so he didn't have Canopy Barrage, or he's just waiting until 1 more turn to use it. But if he is waiting, then that means we have a chance to get our Pickpocket off. Okay, so we can get the Pickpocket off. We can also get the Makeshift Shiv out. And I'm just honestly going to start Looking for some favor here. Got to get some. I'm looking for the Battle Arcus or maybe even the Rune of Life. Basically, we are down a lot on the board. We're going to be getting some pretty big damage to face here too. So we're going to have a pretty big comeback. Hunting Trap, I like to save for the Brazen Moose, but sometimes we have to use it early. Okay, so yeah, in this case, we're going to have to just throw the Hunting Trap out. Just got to do it. And then we're actually going to take out the Marshwalker. Don't want to let that get any buffs. And then finally, going to keep going for some favor here. All right, and that's it. So we are actually at 11 favor. The Form of Power is sitting there, so that's actually quite nice. Will help us clear some of the minions if we can grab that. But we are taking a lot of face damage. But the thing is with nature is if we can get control over the board here, then actually there's not much they can do to get to our face anyways. So we just have to take control of the board as soon as possible. And then even if we're down to low health on the face, it won't matter. But they just had a really good start and we didn't have a good hand to deal with what they had actually. Okay, so we do have a stag, which is really, really nice. It's going to give us what we need. Okay, so we need to decide here. I mean, we can't let him keep the stag on board. Just cannot do that. At the same time, it kind of sucks to. Oh, he also stole some favor from us. So we can't actually grab anything of value right now. I mean, we're going to have to just take out the stag. Just have to do it. I'm honestly going to throw the Uncanny Rogue down just to get a body on board. And then take out the Axe Woman via the Shiv. We need a good pickup. And I really want to get that Rune of Life. Could really use that face health. Alright, I'm hoping the Wild Hog misses here. At the same time, he's just going to use the Skeleton Heavy then. But I'd rather take the Skeleton Heavy out than the Wild Hog, so. Alright. Okay, so the Stag is not the worst thing, because we can actually hit face to get the Enraged Ally. And then we can Stag Enraged Ally to get an extra card draw. Oh, or we can just Stag Skeleton Heavy, even better. Or, yeah. We have some options here. First of all, we're going to drop the Stag. Now, the only thing... Ooh. Just going to get some free favor here. Maybe we can get a Rune of Life. Not ideal. Thinking we Skeleton Heavy. That's actually a decent pickup. Can start giving us some protection here. And let's just hit face, grab some more favor so we're ready to go. We're not worried about his favor. He has 0, so... And there's honestly nothing really good in the Sanctum anyways. The Phalite Tracker is no good for him. It's good for us if we have more bodies on board, but it's just too much of a gamble with the Selena's Mark if there's only like 2 bodies on board. And I haven't been getting lucky with nature for the past couple days, so... 6 favor. It's alright. Alright, so he's getting card draw. But that is his second stag, so... should be a non-issue for us. Okay, I think we need to get the Watchtower of Egador out. So we can start getting some front lines. The only thing is now is... do we take out the stag? Or do we try to keep an extra body on board? Or prevent that extra 3 damage to face. If we take out the stag now, then the enraged ally will have 4 health or strength, and then he'll actually be able to do 3 plus 4, 7, 8, 9. We'll be down to 4 health. So actually, I'm going to take out the enraged ally here. And what do I not want him to have? Valka's Discovery, could that help us at all? Potentially. I'm going to pick it up. All right. So, I mean, he already has cards anyways, so having him keep the stag for 1 extra turn, it's not ideal, but we really have to like consider our face health right now. Would love a Rapture Dance pickup. That would just literally save us the game right here. I mean, that Porcupine better not get buffed up. Although we could take it out if we're worried. Okay. So first of all, let's go get ourselves a Egredor Protector. Gonna start saving some face health here. This is really actually gonna help us out a lot. We can potentially also drop the Guild Enforcer. We're not really in danger of the hunt here. Let's just drop the Guild Enforcer as well. We really want to save face health. He doesn't really have much he can do against all of this health. He's going to have to either wipe his creatures. Okay, so the next question is, do we take out the Celestial Stag, or do we take this opportunity to kill the Spiky Porcupine before he has a chance to buff it? But since his buffs are usually quite random, you know what? I'm just going to play it safe, running out of time. I'm just going to smack that Porcupine. I do not want to take the risk here. Going to get some more favor. We do have, so we have 5, 10, 18, and then the armor is 19 damage we can handle. So even if he has the hunt, we'll be completely fine here. Yes, he got a lot of card draws from that stag, but that's just what we had to do. Beast Speaker. I wonder if he's running the Beast Speaker or if he just got it from the stag. All right, we need another Rapture. I wish that maybe we had 2 Raptures in the deck. My deck doesn't run 2 Raptures. I wonder. I really would like to work it in though, because sometimes you just need the Rapture, and then like if it's 1 in 30 cards, usually it's not in your hand when you need it. Not that you usually need 2 Raptures per game, but it's just nice to have it in hand when you do need it. Okay, Rapture. Nope, no Rapture. All right, so first things first, we're going to get ourselves another Protector. This is really helping us. A second thing, we are going to... Honestly, this Valka's Discovery is not even that bad. At the same time, we can start getting some card draw here. Nice, I'll take the zombie. I'll take the zombie, start getting some health back. Let's grab a card. Starting to stabilize here. That Watchsharp Agador was a really nice pickup. And finally take out his stag. We just do not want that to stay on the board any longer than it has to. And there is a Rune of Life sitting there in the Sanctum, so that's some more health we can get. 3 health, that'll get us back to 11 health. Not amazing, but I'll take it. So, yeah, he can clear both of our front lines, but then that'll clear both of his creatures, so is it worth it? You can Panglion the Oliphant. Could work. Get a card draw with the Ludius Dedicant. So what I'm thinking is we have actually pretty sweet options here. First of all, we're going to do this anyway, so we got to get the card draw. Lightning Strike. What a pickup. What a pickup. Let's just drop that down. Let's get some healing going on here. Smack. Smack. And even if he has the hunt, we could technically drop 3 vibrant fruits here. Is that even... Nah, we don't need it. We'll get an Agridor Protector. We'll just start building a body of front lines. That's going to be something that Nature's going to have a really hard time dealing with. And we already have enough cards in hand, so... yeah, there's not really anything you can do here. So basically that's the thing. As long as you can survive the early onslaught from nature, from war, a lot of times that is what it's going to take to get you in the position you need to actually come back into the game. Okay, so nice charging Oryx. I think the Pangolion might not be bad here, although I also wouldn't mind saving it for when he does bring out the what's it called? His own Pangolion. But I do want to get rid of that as soon as possible. What I'm thinking is, well, first of all, let's just grab some health. We can drop the Shield Maiden, technically. Do we need more card draw? Not really. Let's do this then. We don't need more cards, so we'll use our... Oh wait, I just did it out of order though. Never mind, we won't do that. Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll do the Tainted Tree on... Oh no, Agridor Protector. We did get ourselves a nice Guild Enforcer. So that'll be a Guild Enforcer. He might be slamming that into the Charging Oryx, but that is fine with me. And is there anything else that needs to be done? I think we just send it on back. I really wanted to just keep that Pangolion for his Pangolion, just because we don't really have anything to deal with it. Yeah, so it's a good thing because we can do damage to the Oryx over time, but we can't really we don't have anything to get past that 3 armor. So that's why we saved it up. What we're going to do though is actually take out this Marshwalker first, so we don't end up killing the wrong guy. And do we have a good way to take out the Marshwalker? I guess we'll go like this. Get our last card that we can hold in hand. Okay, nice. Guild Enforcer, not bad. And then we can actually ping out the Pangolion. And that's why we saved that. And this time we can go for let's go for some Vibrant Fruits. Try to buff up our actually that'll only buff up our Dedicant. Not the worst thing in the world. His hunt might do a little bit more helpful damage now though. But it'll be fine. What else could he have here? I guess he could have a Wildfire. Ooh, we lost our zombie. Not ideal. But we got a massive Dedicant now. So we're going to have card draws 4 days. We can heal it up and heal up our own character. We don't really need we're not too worried about face health anymore. So first of all, let's just Rune of Life ourselves. Secondly, we can just... Let me think here. Do we have anything to take out the Black Jaguar? Not really, but we're just going to clear it with this. Why let him have anything on board? We don't have to. Let's get some Agridor Protector. He's going to be completely out of options here. Honestly, nothing more that he can do. And I'm going to drop a big body on board just to prevent another the hunt. Alright, we have full control. I don't think there's literally anything in the nature deck that can deal with this. What value from the Watchtower of Agridor just completely shut down his entire deck. It's a good card. I don't really see it in enough play, I don't think. Usually it's like a delved. Whenever I see it in play, it's like delved or something else. Alright, let's try to end this. I feel like this is a really good, underappreciated deck. Okay, so let's just see here. First of all, we're just gonna stone skin, of course, so we can finish it off pretty much full here. So now we have full mid hands. We have something to deal with the Hispanglion. And we're just gonna try to end the game here. Sometimes you have to admit defeat. Sometimes you can like have a chance. But if you know that there's literally nothing in your entire deck that will save you, then what's the point of playing on? That's my opinion. If you have something in your deck that can save you, even if it's just the random off chance, then go ahead. By all means, play on. Even if it's a 1% chance. But if you have a 0% chance, then yeah, it's another story. You can just hide this guy. And we can then just go smack, smack, and there we go. All right, and that is the game versus nature, which usually does pretty well against deception, so pretty happy with that win. All right, so this is a war matchup. I'm not sure what war he's going for, but it's a good example to show nature and a war, because those are pretty much what you're going to be coming up to most of the time when it comes to weekend ranked. So with war, we really want to... Hunter Trap I actually usually get rid of, because a lot of the war creatures, it doesn't even have more health than strength. And you really want to get bodies on board. So like Skeleton Heavy is really great against the warrior. The Hollow. So basically we are going to be turned to the Hollow. Ideally you go first when you play the Hollow, but we actually are going second. So we might not actually be able to get that out on the first turn. If you can get out the Hollow turn 1 though, a lot of times that really just decides the game for you. Okay, so technically we could still ping up the Hollow. He has a chance to miss it with the Hog. So even if he has like an Axewoman, it's going to take this getting 50% chance unlucky. And he happens to have an Axewoman in hand. So it actually might not be the worst thing for us to pop it out. And the other thing is, technically that could take out 2 cards for him. Okay. I think that's a bit of a bug. The Monosian Infiltrator hits the ward, and then it also showed that it went down to 2 health, but I think it actually stayed at 4 health, because then when he hit it, it's back to 2 health. It's a weird bug. Okay, so let's just give ourselves order. That is just a bug witnessed live. And then we are going to... We need a bit of help here. We'll get this guy down. And then I'm actually going to ping out... I could ping out the Shadow Acolyte. And then start like getting it to count down. They're both hidden, and then I can kill the Hog next turn. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm basically sacrificing 2 damage to face here. But I'm going to get a lot of card draw because I have the Hollow on board. And I have the Shackled Acolyte. So I'm going to get a card draw on my turn, and then a card draw the turn after. I'm going to have a fistful of cards. And then I'm going to also have a 4/4 body on board. So, and that cost me an extra 2 damage to health from not going for the Wild Hog first. Okay, so first things first, order ourselves, because it is so easy to forget this. Okay. Secondly, we are going to actually drop out this guy. We don't want the Bladecaster on board. We don't want the Hog. And now we're going to actually take a board advantage here. Get the Skeleton Heavy. So now we have a board advantage, and we also have a card advantage. And we're going to just continue to collect cards. So that is the power of the Hollow turn 1. Sometimes it's just not possible, though. Yeah, that's a pretty bad stat. Not sure if that was a good play. We're just getting complete control over this game right now. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is actually clear the board. Then we're going to do a bit of a funny play here. So first things first, we're going to clear the board. And so now we have the option to actually put order back on the Shackled Acolyte, and then we could buff it up to a 6/3. I just don't know if that's going to be too slow. But we're going to go for it. We have a bunch of cards anyway, so if he does happen to have a Blitz character, a Tavern Brawler, then we lose our Hollow. But we're going to have a 6-3 on board. Don't know if that's the best play. I mean, Carnage Sheep would catch us anyway, so it doesn't matter. But good thing we didn't play our Lady Marcella. So now we actually can play our Lady Marcella. But if we play the Lady Marcella, then no matter what he plays, we're good here. The curve might have said it was better to play the Guild Enforcer, and for all we know, it could have been better to play the Guild Enforcer. But this is going to slow down his deck. And if he has something like Enduring Shield, then next turn we can drop the Guild Enforcer. And honestly, I'm not as worried about the mana curve here. We're just wanting to take control and like really just shut down his entire board. The Guild Enforcer is just slower. So like now we have our 2 Skulkers ready. Whereas if I put the Guild Enforcer and he had done this big turn, now what are we going to do? We don't really have as much of a play. Whereas now we actually have a good play. So we can drop the Guild Enforcer. He could technically ping out the... Let me just think here. So he could technically have a Soul Survivor in hand, which would be handy. So ideally we'd clear the board. But we don't have to. Grab this guy. And what else? We'll grab this guy. Don't want any damage off to our dude. I'm not worried about these row Skulkers because we have an armor, so they can't get through. If he Soul Survived our Guild Enforcer, that's pretty big waste of a Soul Survivor. So I'm not too concerned about that. So there's one Soul Survivor gone. Yeah, 6 damage to face, but he's got 2 cards left. So we should be good here. All right, so what we can now start looking at doing is, well, I mean, first of all, we're going to ping this guy out. Second of all, it might actually be bad to get a... this guy is going to give us an enchanted weapon next turn. We're going to start working on another card draw, and these are 2 guild creatures. So next turn we can drop the Frumentari Instigator, and then this will give us an extra 2 card draw because we have 2 guild creatures on board. So that's really nice. And if he has something that is a threat, we can always drop the Stone Skin Poison. But I think I'm going to save the Stone Skin Poison for maybe when he puts Protected on something. Nice. So, perfect. We can draw a card for the 2 guild creatures here. And we can actually put on a nice enchanted weapon. Does this have God Blitz? No. Blitz, just Blitz. When you attack, give a friendly creature +1 strength. So that's actually really nice. And we have some decent amount of bodies on board. I'm looking at that Form of Power there. I want to get that in my hand. Wow, we picked up a Tenderizer, which also means he has a Tenderizer in hand right now. So we actually gotta watch out for that. We should look for some relic removal. Definitely look for some relic removal. I'm thinking about saving the Stone Skin Poison in case he has a Demogorgon. Alrighty, so first of all, let's just buff up a dude. We have it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, we don't have a space for it right now. So I got to drop another guy on board. Who am I going to drop? Drop a Switchblade Duelist. Then I can grab the Form of Power. Then I can smack. And then I can Form of Power. Don't want to leave any bodies on board against the war. And then we can decide if we want to put a Guild Enforcer down. He could potentially. Oh, actually, he has one card. It's the Tenderizer. So he doesn't have a Carnage, and he used his one Carnage. I don't know if he would run 2 Carnages. It seems like plus Soul Survivor. I don't know. It's a lot of removal. I highly doubt, but he could have a Carnage. But I know he only had a Tenderizer in hand, so he would have had to get really lucky. And he's going to Tenderizer my Guild Enforcer, of course. And then he's going to start looking for some face damage, I imagine. But we also have our own Tenderizer, so what do you know? We could technically pop this guy. We need to finish this fast, though, because he's going to be able to deal 16 damage to our face. So we need to actually finish this off. So 6, how much damage is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we do 11 with our current one. So that brings him down to 8. And then we can Tenderizer this turn. Oh, no, we can't Tenderizer this turn. Ooh, okay, so let's just do this, first of all. Okay, so 4. This, I would love to have a... okay, so that takes him down to 11. If we drop this, then next turn we can do 4, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah, we can do lethal next turn. Okay. So he can't just smack our face with his Tenderizer because we do have lethal. So he has to go for a minion. But oh, this is not ideal. This is not ideal. Might have been better off putting the Tenderizer in hand. Because now it's... Oh wow, he should have just gone face there. Really should have gone... That's a big, big mess up. Because now we have lethal next turn unless he has like a Guild Enforcer. But he has no cards in hand, so we'd have to get a really lucky pull. Okay, so first we're going to smack. Then we're going to smack. And then something that he is not prepared to deal with is we stole a Tenderizer. So that is GG next turn. What a pickup. I love this playing Deception because you're literally just beating people with their own cards, which feels really good. He's looking probably for a Guild Enforcer. we should have picked up that guy. I don't know what I was thinking. If he gets a Guild Enforcer from the Ambitious Adventurer, then I don't even deserve to win because I should have took that from the Sanctum. Could also got a Demogorgon. Demogorgon won't save him though. And that is GG, folks. What a game. All right. And those were the games. So who won? I guess they got the same in weekend ranked, but NoobSauces was a lot cheaper doing it. So congrats to NoobSauce. Your deck wins this versus video. If you want to talk to NoobSauce about his deck or even me about my deck, then you can find us both in the Discord server. The link will be in the description. You can watch the war version of this video here where I do a budget versus expensive comparison in weekend ranked as well. And with that, see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.